We are super early, but we are ready to make the new year happen. I want to take you along to create a vision board in different way what I learned through social media and how it has grown over the years how I made my vision board. And I think it's time to start dreaming again. It's time to give ourselves permission to build that vision board. But this time I'm gonna change it up a little bit to make it more special. I started my vision board 4 years ago, I believe, and since then it has changed, and I always done it for my home screen in my phone, because we always look at our lock screen, we look at the time, we look at if someone has messaged us. This is the place I always look, and sometimes I catch myself looking at it. I want to be a little bit delusional as always, but I also want to add something that is more actionable for me that I can vision now for myself. Best step is always to create something you can see in your head, put it in a paper and actually see it, so it makes it easier for you and it takes out this numbifying feeling that we can actually do it. Let's get into it. I want to start with reviewing my old projects, because I feel like that will give you insight why I have been doing it and what has actually come true on my story. We are using a Canva because it's a free source. I want to keep everything free so we don't also have a printer, so we use something that's more affordable. So I'm gonna look for my vision board, and it's usually, I think you need to name your vision board, right? This is my 2024. You can see I started it in my phone. Before I was just writing what I would like to get from this year, what we did this year. So we're gonna move on to 2025. They look pretty similar, right? So the pixels you're looking for is 1284 times 2536 pixels. I know I said that weird, okay. But that is the project you can open in Canva. If you don't know how that works, if you've never used it, it's really simple actually. You can just create, and then you can do a custom, right? Custom size, and here you just write the height and the other stuff. But we don't need to do that because I already have, as I said, I like to keep them so I have them. I know I have them in my phone, but my phone tends to get really full, so there's that. But always name it as your vision board so it's easy to find once you do a lot of stuff in Canva. That's something I do. I want us first to view back our year. I don't want to just jump in and be, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. I want us to also acknowledge what we've done. And I feel like it's really perfect to take you along with me, something we have actually done. 2024, I actually added here YouTube plague, like the subscribed stuff, and then I was like, I didn't think I would start YouTube. It wasn't like in my head, but then I started it, and now I added it from my this year too. I didn't get 1,000 subscribers. It's totally fine. I feel like we all have different growth, and that's fine. What I can say I'm really proud of, I added this quote here: take action. The distance between your dreams and reality is called action. And I definitely had executed more than ever. I overcome so much of myself, and it was really hard, kind of depressing time when I came back to Estonia. Like, I had to overcome myself again because I thought that I'm gonna make it in Poland when I lived there. If you don't know my story, you can check my first video on YouTube. I talk about it, and if you want to know more about it, let me know. I can tell you more about my story. And I feel like I overcome a lot of my mental health stuff also. They're still there, they're never gone, but I feel like I'm better with a headspace. And you know this thing when you're numb and you can't do anything because you're kind of like stuck in the same position, and emotionally it's even hard to do like easy things, and I feel like I was that. Actually, funny thing about this thing, I added here like a girl circles. I thought that I will create myself something. While I didn't do it, I joined one business where I helped them do social media. I didn't plan it, but that's how I gained my first business money. When it comes to planners, I did my first journal. If you don't know, I have my Design Dream webpage. This is where I pretty much did my journal and stuff. I didn't move this year yet, which is a sad thing, but I feel like sometimes we have to face certain things and also notice our contributions. So I live with my boyfriend's house, and I know that right now we're kind of surviving in this inflation. I'm trying to figure out my passions and do something I love. Meanwhile, he is working, and it's not ideal while I have been really embarrassed about it. I feel like that has really held me back. I want to share how much it actually helps me, because I feel like we all struggle in our own rut and we don't realize that we can do such small things like I'm doing, and that's why there's the importance of it. Sum up this year, we didn't do any modeling, although I tried. I did my Polaroids. Yeah, maybe pink money. We didn't get pink money, but that is fine. There's this quote, my body is healthy, my mind is sharp. Definitely mind has become sharp. I have been obsessed with learning our subconscious mind and how our brain works. That's something I do in the side. I did not release Shy Girl on my album. That's in this corner, which is kinda sad, I must admit it. I have found like a driven side of Victoria. The one is confidence, the one who just does it and don't care because she thinks she's worth it. We are making actually my EP, and I feel like that's more exciting. I feel like I'm getting better at it. I did little dancing, I did it. I did actually performing, which is not in here, which is something I did myself. I wanted to create something where people can come and talk. I do have my Discord where people are, chatting and share their music and connect, so that's something I'm still building. It's the worst feeling ever when you try so hard and the following is the same. My Instagram has been for years with me. You look, I put here 2,000. I was like, okay, this is not unrealistic, right, to get 1,000 followers. Looks like it is. No, I don't think it is. I think it's possible, but I feel like it's just a learning curve. I became more confident in video. I feel like that's the most important thing, like being like chill in camera. Usually when you start, you're like, you're a little bit like jittery and stuff. The thing happened, I had 1,034 followers. Then I started posting on Instagram really actively. Then it dropped down to 999. It went back now to 1,052, and now it drops again to 40 something. So I am in the 1,000 range, and I don't know if it's because I have old followers who don't really root for me, who followed me because I just did selfies, or I was just like, oh, look at me. I mean, it wasn't really my intention, but that's something I was more doing, Instagram was more of like, oh, look, haha, I'm traveling and all of that stuff, Now I'm not doing it, and maybe that has changed a little. Anyways, let's not be hard on ourselves, right? We're learning, we're getting better, and slowly we will get to our 2,000 followers. When it comes to YouTube, we didn't hit like the 1,000 mark and we didn't get monetization, but I feel like it's on its way. I feel like next year it will be, so I'm gonna just add from next year monetization mark, and that's something we will do now. So let's jump into our new vision board and create our 2026. Okay, before we jump into, I want to say it and highlight it really sharply. Even if you didn't succeed in those things, it doesn't mean you're bad. You need to highlight also the things you learn, and that's something that calms me down and makes me understand I can prolong my vision. Everyone's journey is different. Maybe I had to go through more emotional side of it. Maybe I had to go through myself and understand that I have to be more confident, and maybe that was my challenge. And how do I like to do, because I've already done it, if you open a new one, then open a new one, I'm gonna just duplicate the page. And now I want to share something new, what I learned, and the things that are actually, I feel like, really great. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to delete the things first, my old things, that I feel like I don't really need right now. I just want to add all new pictures. So I will not take out my Instagram and my YouTube, this thing. So here is my 2026. I have saved 30 pins. We will not save 30 pins, but I'm gonna tell you how this year we're gonna do it different. That's something exciting I've been wanting to do, so I'm really glad I learned it, and social media is there and people are inventing stuff, so that's exactly what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna explain it now. So the new approach is to look for the feeling. If I think of okay, this new year, I feel like, what have I accomplished this year and what can I take it with me to the next year? So now I have gained a confidence, so maybe we can do more lives, maybe we can sing more, maybe we can release more because I have the skill now. So you open your Pinterest, and if I think of a feeling, I want to feel like it's more about singing. You have to be also specific, so I'm gonna share you what's in my table. So you can see I have looked for certain things like podcast, maybe dancing. I want to do choreo for one of my songs. I don't know if I'll make it this year. You can see the specific picture maybe with my boyfriend when we're moving. We can actually replace that. Then I want myself a camera actually. I have a lot of like camera pictures here and some just specifications. Maybe I want to go to theater. I can add it there, and performance and more studio sessions in my year. And I want to go to somewhere where it's more warm. I want you to choose pictures you can replace, and that is the huge lesson I wanted to share with you. Imagine you had the picture from this year, and then you realize, oh, I've done this, and now you replace it with your real picture. You have a vision board, what you actually manifested, and this time it's a memory lane of what you did and what you manifested. So you get what I mean? Not manifested, what you actually speak into existence and what you actually made. I feel like that's so powerful. I feel like that is exactly what I want for us. What you also want to look for, let's say you're an artist like me, you want to be more in the studio. So you're gonna look for studio girl, or I don't know if it makes sense, but you're just gonna put studio girl. Okay, wait, singing in the studio. So you're gonna just look for that. We can add more stuff there. You can be, okay, I really like this picture, that's more realistic for me. Maybe I can try to do such picture, and then I will add it there. And then beside it, maybe, let's just save it. So I have it here, right? I'm gonna look for releasing, or maybe views. Releasing music. You have to be specific, right? Even in Pinterest, then you get I don't know what. You can take even some people's like whatever thing is, and you can replace it with your face. For now, because it has to be specific, real, achievable. I want it to be super easy. If you think you can replicate the picture, then it makes sense. If I'm gonna put, I don't know, this picture, I don't know even what it is, then I feel like it's possible, but I don't think it's really possible, you know what I mean? Yeah, like even this picture can be a thing. Maybe I will perform, and that's represents the performing or behind the stage. I feel like that's also really powerful. So you try to look in a year something where you can perform, and then once you're somewhere where you're performing, you're gonna catch it. It doesn't have to be the same. It can be similar. It's just something you developed. I added such aesthetic photos. I feel like I want to move, and then I want to create such photo for myself. Something that's like behind me and kind of represents that I moved. I don't know, I want to like also challenge myself for doing it. So you were just download image. Let's go back and save other stuff. One of my goals, you have to have goals too, okay? One of my goals is, of course, one is releasing my EP. Oh, maybe we can just EP release. Maybe there's something. I think coming soon is also a good idea. Coming soon is like showing that you're gonna do posting. Maybe it can look realistic like this. I know it looks ridiculous, but the meaning and the resemblance you make of it, it's unique to you. So you're gonna be like, this is gonna be my picture when I release my EP, and I'm gonna do this picture and peel and put there in front of it, coming soon, my EP, it is all is mixed, let's go, and then you post it, and then you're gonna use this picture in Visionboard because you actually did it. I feel like that's a really good reminder for yourself what you did in the year. Sometimes we forget what we did, that's it. If you want to also see how I like to plan my goals, do those goals, let me know. Sometimes we can't mold the world, but we can mold our own reality and change ourselves and make us better. I think what else to add is some quotes. The one thing I felt like this last 2 years that my vision board is just kind of something, it's actually a direction to something, but this time I want to replace it. I want to replace it to real proof, and that's something I'm determined of doing this year. This coming year, I gained so much knowledge that I just want to implement. I want to see the growth, okay? I'm a stubborn child. I'll continue. Deep, successful quotes. I don't know. Success is a decision, something that resonates. You're like, oh, I really like this. I feel like it's a good reminder. If you look into your phone, it's gonna be there. So think of that. Think of like, hey, even if it's hard, I believe in you. You can do it because you said so. And also this thing, she's so lucky. Actually, I don't want to add that she worked hard. I do think sometimes it's not about working hard, it's just finding the balance. But yes, you need to work in the beginning, but later it will make sense. But yeah. 2026 is my year because that's something I always add. Let's say it's a tradition. Oh my god, look what they even offer him. There's a lot of cool vision board stuff. You know, guys, you can even make vision boards inside Pinterest app, so you don't need to really go to Canva if you don't want. 10k followers would be so cool. Maybe I should reach higher number. I know that I've been posting, so maybe this time, even if I didn't get followers this year, maybe I'll get next year, but I will get more than I planned. Let me know if you have any other questions, and then let's build it together. Now I dragged and dropped everything I liked. I actually want to like help you think for yourself what sections to have. I feel like there are different sections. I know that I'm really like all over the place person usually. Usually people say like keep less pictures. Yes, you can do that totally. I'm totally crazy. I'm gonna add a usual picture that I feel like I can do picture, and then I'm gonna add something extra to pursue higher, because when I pursue higher, you know, there's a chance to get even higher than I imagined in the beginning, if that makes sense. The left side is my YouTube channel and my social media. The right side is my business. Below, I want to maybe put my personal goals, experiences I want to experience. Maybe I want to go to theater. Maybe I want to sing in the stage. Anything that's more of like experience. And maybe right side is the food, the lifestyle, the moving. I don't know, maybe I want to have a friendship. I want a new friendship. I want us to just like section it out for ourselves. If you ever wonder like how to do positions, then just put back, or you can go layers and play with those. You have to lock sometimes because otherwise they're just gonna like drag, or you can just take something else. This is the first vision, and this is that next vision of it, and then I want this. You're like, why do you add so much? It's because I can. So the most important replacement pictures I want to keep for myself is this shopping thing, because I am making my tart cards and also Shopify stuff. I have Shopify. I really want to learn to sell my stuff. I know they say you need to keep your vision board really tackly, small and few pictures, but I like to keep it a little bit trimmy too, so I can look at it. You know, in the phone it looks a lot more bigger. So when you're in this part, you have added all the pictures, few quotes. I have less quotes this year. Maybe we need to add more. Yeah, like this vision board is more like an action board. That's something. So now we can just add a little, I don't know, decorations or some graphics maybe. Maybe we can write here camera, just to make it like a little fun, you know. It's gonna be my wallpaper too. Ooh, like a money sign or something. Like the money and finances are getting better. That's definitely something I want. Maybe you can add experiences represents our sunny area of our life. Now it's time to review what we made. But if you put it in your home screen, it's gonna look amazing. So this is my vision board for 2026. We wanted YouTube monetization, and that's something I'm really keen for. So we have that in here, some photo sessions. I want to own a camera. From the right side, we want to get paid for being me. So I want to do something I'm passionate and share my art project. I know it looks really small and weird, but this is for my cartoon making. I decided to make cartoon with my, not cartoon, but more of like a storytelling, the stories I've written down for a long time. I really wanted to tell stories about mental health, and that's something I'll be doing with Sims. steps. I don't know, I'm trying out this month. Once it is released, I can share you podcasting, the book thing maybe, and then work with business with some people. That would be so cool. I want to move, so that's also actually part of moving, but it's also some like photo I want to try do myself. And then I want to meet people to do paintings and stuff. Then the moving site, maybe traveling, going to theater. This resembles my like EP release. That's something I'll do, like we talked. And then maybe I will start to release my album, and that's like a tiny hope for me. So here you can see my final look, how it looks in my phone. I hope you really liked this session. And definitely, if you want to make it more meaningful, create more sections for yourself. There are many sections you can make. I'm so excited for my next year. I want to see my vision, and now I can see it much clearer because it's on the paper too. I hope you found something useful for yourself and inspirational. I wish you so much magic in your days and your music and your goals. Keep my fingers crossed that we will make it, because I know we will. We will keep on dreaming. We will keep on doing what we love and spreading love and happiness to the world. That's exactly what I want. I want us to have a real human connections and really create something that matters, that connects with people. So thank you so much for being with me in here and creating this vision board. I'm excited to make my true reality. Let me know in the comments if you want to do actionable steps for these goals, for these things we have placed in our vision board. Last time we were continuing my album songs, so if you want to see how I'm trying to tackle my album songs and just hang out with me, then check out the video. And I see you next time on next Monday, and I'm sending a lot of magic and a lot of inspiration to you. Thank you so much for being here.